Hey beauty addicts, it's Alex. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to finally be filming this video, not because it's like long overdue, like I got my hair done a month ago, but it just took me like two and a half hours to get ready. Like, I know I'm a beauty addict, but it's seriously, maybe it didn't take 2.5 hours and I'm just being dramatic, but come on. Alright, so let's just jump on into it. This is the third hair look that I've had in the past month. Oh my gosh. So you guys know for the longest time I've had blonde hair. Over the years, you know, I've gotten blonder and blonder. My hair has gotten longer and longer. And, you know, lately I was going for a lot of highlights, you know, as many as possible without having to do a full color. Because at one point I was like, maybe we should do a full color. My hairdresser was like, no, because you're gonna have to come back so much more often if you don't do highlights. And I was like, okay. So she's been doing my highlights forever, and you know, did my highlights for me for the longest time. You know, occasionally give me a haircut. I usually would push those off. So, but one day, you know, I was deciding, you know, okay, I'm going to probably be moving back in with my parents, and, you know, if that happens, they're going to be paying for my food and, you know, helping me pay medical bills and stuff like that. So I don't, you know, want to go be spending a lot of money on my hair frequently, and then I also don't want to, you know, make them drive me to go somewhere to spend a lot of money on my hair. So it was like, I need to do a hair color that's going to last me a lot longer. Like, with all the highlights that I was doing a full head of blonde highlights, and then I was actually probably doing double the amount of highlights, definitely more than like the usual amount, just because I wanted to be very blonde. So I was like, okay, I need to do something different. I want to do something different, you know, it's kind of like a new chapter of my life. You know, I want something that's going to, you know, allow me to go a long time in between hair appointments, you know, so I'm not having to go every 2 months, because I think that's about the time frame that I was going to. I probably should have gone a little bit sooner, or I should have been on the 2-month time frame, but I was going every 3 months, and then my roots would grow out and I'd go crazy, especially because I'm a YouTuber. So I was like, oh, I really want to do an ombre hair color, because that way it'll fade, and then it could just like, you know, fade, you know, longer. And I was reading online, if you want your hair, if you want to go a longer time in between hairstyles, you can get like an ombre or balayage. So as I was looking into ombre, I was also looking at balayage. And I was like, well, balayage seems a little bit more natural. Like ombre, it's just like color, 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 and then it's supposed to blend. But balayage kind of looks like it's a little bit, it's blended, but it's more blended throughout your hair, almost like a faded highlights, kind of. Like, I don't know how to explain it. So I was looking at the different options. So I was like, I think I'm gonna do balayage. And I'm like, when I called and made the hair appointment, they said, you know, balayage, you know, will last longer. And I'm like, okay. And, you know, the first thing I asked that was like, you know, I was thinking about getting an ombre done, but do you have anybody in your hair salon that's really good with ombre? And I think the lady thought I was crazy for asking that, but I've seen so many people get ombre done and it looks like complete crap, and like, I don't want to get my hair done and for it to look like crap or not done right, or like, you know, be a hair horror story. So I asked, and, you know, basically said that everyone's good at it. The hairdresser that I always went to, and she was my regular hairdresser, and the only reason why I wasn't going to go straight to hers is because, like, I don't know if she's done ombre. I want to go to whoever's best. And she said that she could do ombre, and I'm like, okay, if she can do ombre, then she can do ombre. You know, I didn't want to be a huge pain in the butt, so I was like, okay. So then I went in to get my hair, and I told her what I was thinking. You know, I was thinking of ombre, but like was thinking ombre, but I think I'm gonna do balayage, and I just love the, you know, the fade, and like, you know, I want it to be, you know, dark to light, and, you know, she's like, oh, okay. So she went to do the balayage, because we settled on the balayage. She went to do the balayage, and she ended up giving me ombre. And yeah, there's a difference, and it was clearly ombre, but I actually kind of liked it. So, you know, I was like, okay, I can rock with this. I kind of like how the ombre looks, and it'll still, you know, last me a while in between, you know, having to get my hair done. Maybe balayage might last a little bit longer, but like still kind of like the same idea. So I was like, okay, I can rock with this. Well, as she's doing my hair, she notices as it's drying, and she's like making everything, you know, drying and brushing it out and stuff, she started noticing that there were splotches. So I didn't even realize that there was a swatch, and then she ran over to my old hairdresser, and because my old hairdresser was actually one of the managers, and she was like, can you help me? Like, this is how this is turning out with these splotches. So she tried to help her get out the splotches. So then I had to go back over to the sink and get my hair re-washed, and they had to do something special, like scrubbing in around where the splotches were. And you know, at this point, like, I'm feeling really sick. Like, I have a lot of health problems, so like sitting in there for so long, like, I didn't even want to go. I almost canceled the appointment because I wasn't feeling good. I'm like, I don't want to be stuck in a chair for hours, and like, you know, I'm trying to get something that's a little bit more complicated done that I haven't done. You know, the highlights, it's like clockwork. You're like, you know, I've done this a million times, but I was like, I don't want to be, you know, stuck. And I was already like, by the time I first washed my hair, like I was like ready to go. Like I was like, I'm hungry. I need to go get something to eat. And you know, when I eat, I'm in pain. So I don't want to be out in public and be in pain. I want to just get home. It's going to take me forever to get home. And I'm not even done yet. I'm not even getting to the hairdryer part yet. So I was starting to get anxious and like, you know, and I was hungry. So I was like not, you know, not feeling it. So then they had to go fix it. I'm like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. So, but I was like, well, I didn't come all this way to have splotched hair. So they went to go fix it or whatever, and they started drying it and stuff. And, you know, by the time she was done drying and styling it, like, I didn't even really look at the hair that closely. I was just like, it's done, whatever, I'm out of here, kind of. And, you know, it was funny because before she started doing my hair, she took before pictures of me because she wanted to post them up on the website. And so, on Facebook. And then, you know, she had to do the afters, so she did the afters for me, and I'm like, okay, can you text me them, you know, in the next couple of hours? So, you know, I pay for it, I leave, I go home, I stuff my face, I'm assuming I went home and stuffed my face with food, because I was so freaking hungry. And then she sends me the pictures, and I look at them, and I'm like, oh, and I'll insert them. I'm like, oh my God, my hair looks so horrible. And I was also like, you know, taking snaps and filming videos and using my Sony A5100 taking photos, which are like really high quality photos, you know, and I was like, oh my God, the splotches are still there. So it was like dark to here, like a darker brown, like kind of more like my natural color, but I think a little bit darker than my natural color, and then like a medium brown, and then just the rest of my natural blonde hanging. So I was all like, I wish that there was one more, because my hair's so long, the dark brown, the medium brown, and then the blonde. The blonde went for so long, it was like half my hair. Like, this is curled, so it's a little harder to tell, but like my hair is a lot longer when it's not curled, but like half my hair was just my natural blonde that I already had when I went in there. Like, they didn't do anything to it. And like, because there's so much blonde, I'm like, I wish they would have at the tips added more blonde. But I'm like, that's not where I'm going to be picky. I'm going to be picky about the fact that like across this side here, there were like little splotches, and I'm like, oh my God, they're still there. And she didn't say anything about that when we were like finishing up. She wasn't just like, oh, there's more, like, let's get them out, or like, I apologize, or anything like that. So I still had the splotches in my hair, and I was so mad because I wanted to cancel that appointment because I didn't feel good. And then to have to go back again, that cost me more money and transportation to have to go back. More effort for me. I'm like so exhausted most of the time. I literally just wanted to be laying down doing nothing, and I'm like dragging myself out to be stuck somewhere for hours on end, especially with my food issues. Like, especially at that time, I was eating like every 2 hours. It was just really, really hard, and I'm like, I have to go all the way back out there for a mistake that they made, and they didn't even completely fix it before. They were trying to fix it before I left, and then they completely fixed it, and I'm like, oh my God. So I called and told them what happened. I went back, and then they had me sit with like the manager of the store there. So she's like, okay, well, this is clearly not balayage. And I'm like, yeah, it's definitely not balayage. But then she was talking to me about balayage, and when she was explaining balayage, it sounded completely different from what I thought. And she showed me pictures of people with balayage, and they're completely different. Now, if you guys are hairdressers or know about hair, let me know down in the comments if they're right or what I was thinking was right, because a lot of what I was thinking was based off a Google like search of what the difference is between ombre and balayage, and then also what I was pinning on Pinterest that was coming up under ombre versus balayage. And she showed me a picture, and it pretty much looked like all same color root with like little like inserts of like that sounded like little tiny bits of hair color popping in, so it doesn't look like a root, like it looks like a nicer root. Okay, and when I look at it, I'm like, that doesn't look like balayage to me at all. And I showed her a picture on Pinterest that I picked from that said balayage, and she was like, oh, okay, like she knew exactly what I was going for. And I'm like, I don't want what you have, and I don't want what this other customer had. Like, I don't want that. I want this, and I like the whole fade and stuff. And she's like, okay, I got it. She gave me exactly what I said I didn't want, and I was so pissed. And I'm like, you actually made it worse. I actually liked my hair better with the ombre rather than the splotches. I almost wish I went in here and never said the word balayage to you, and I wish I would have just, asked you to take out the splotches. And she told me too that she kind of had to start over in order to take out the splotches anyway, but I was just like I told you, like, this is not what I wanted. I wanted this. And I'm like, all you pretty much did was make my hair look like exactly like it did when I first came in. Long blonde hair with roots. They just looked a little bit like nicer roots, but it still like was like a strip with blonde. And I'm like, this is like all my natural blonde. Like this is not, you didn't do anything. Like you just added some little in my root. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I told her, I'm like, I want more dimension. Like it's a balayage is supposed to kind of fade and then like all kind of blend together. And it's usually just color. And so what they did, what I had them end up doing is put in low lights. And of course, everyone before I put in the lights was saying, oh, your hair looks so good, but if you want to go with the light, that's fine. I'm like, don't lie to me. Like, I know it doesn't look good, or like it looks good for what it is. Like, she did a nice job for what it was, but I'm like, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I said. And, you know, of course, I had to pay for the low lights, but I was just like, I just want to get out of here. So she put in brown low lights, or like dark blonde low lights, which thank God, because that ended up blending everything together. So it wasn't just like dark light, you know, it blended, but I was just so annoyed. And then, you know, because that happened, she did the wrong thing the first time around, and then we had to do my hair again. So I got my hair done twice in one sitting. And then the first time I got my hair done, I also got my hair cut, so I had to stay longer for her to get cut. And then they paid me for the low lights. So they didn't make me pay for them to redo what I ended up not liking, but they made me pay for the low lights, which is kind of annoying, but I was not about to like fight about it or get, like because of course I was feeling like they were like annoyed that, you know, not only did they have to spend their time fixing someone, but that I was like, I'm not happy with what you did. So I'm just like, it was just so frustrating. And then, you know, but then it ended up being okay. I'm still not 100% happy with it. I'm still kind of picky because sometimes I feel like it still does look like strip blonde depending on how it's styled, or like the angle, like straight ahead. I don't think it's always like sometimes I think you can tell like straight versus sideways versus curled versus like straight or wavy. Like it looks different, especially wavy. I feel like it looks more like brown, blonde. Like it still kind of has that effect, but the low lights definitely helped. But overall, I do like the look better. I think I look better with some more dark dimension. Like that's what I loved about the ombre, and like what I loved about the look I ended up with is the fact that I have some dimension, and then like it frames my face a little bit, but I also still have some of the blonde framing my face. So it's like, it's not too much blonde, it's not too much brown. Like it really, I think, adds a dimension. And also I think ombre and balayage looks are so great for the fall, especially if it's like a brunette blonde balayage or like a redhead balayage. Like I just think it brings out, you know, like kind of more gold tones, brown tones, which is all what fall is all about. I thought it was kind of perfect timing to do this. So it was a bit of a struggle. I was really frustrated. It cost me extra money and time and energy, but I at least got to a place that I was good. I'm like, okay, good, because now I can go 6 months without getting my hair done. That's what they said. I don't know if I should trust what they said, but like they honestly did such a good job for years on me. Like I think it was only one time other time I was upset was when I got, actually no, there was other times I got upset too. Some of it I might have been picky, some of it might have been some other stuff, but like they were doing a good job for a while when I was just getting my highlights done. But when I wanted to do something complicated, it was like, oh, here we go, and then I have to pay extra to try to get them what I wanted to do them. I don't know. I'm just frustrated. And I'm being real with you guys. And I love my hairdresser. I love them in general. I like their salon and everything. And I don't want to be, you know, trashing them necessarily or saying all these bad things, but it's the truth. It was my experience. I'm not happy with it. Like, and I really feel, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm ranting about it, I feel like I shouldn't have had to pay for the low lights, but because I showed her what I wanted, and I showed her that's what I originally wanted, and just because someone didn't give me what I originally wanted, like, and you, like, I have a picture, like, so it's not, like, confusing. I don't know. But that's my hair story. I think overall I like it. I'm happy with it. I'm definitely happier with it than like all over blonde. Are there things that I would fix about it? Maybe someone who could do my hair better, maybe. Yes, I'm sure that there's a hairdresser out there that I think I would trust more to do an ombre balayage type of look. But I overall, at least it gives me the effect that I wanted, and I don't have to get my hair done for a long time, which is my goals. Do you guys have any hair horror stories? I have some other hair horror stories I can share with you guys throughout my life. There have been other ones, and not just at this salon, but other salons and like box dyes that I've used. Like if you want to hear more hair horror stories, let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear your hair horror stories. But at least I was able to get mine fixed, so Thank goodness. All right, so that is my hair story for you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully you like the overall new look. I wanted to keep the blonde going because I've just been blonde the entire time on YouTube, but I definitely wanted to mix in some other colors and try something new. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Before I get into that, I have a lot to say and a lot to talk about. I do want to know what you guys want to see for Halloween tutorials. I really don't have any money. I'm kind of broke, but maybe I'll be able to whip something together with what's in my collection for you guys, or do something more simple, like a makeup look for something or whatnot. So I'm just trying to figure that out. So let me know down in the comments what you guys want me to do for Halloween. Let's list a couple ideas, whatever you want, and I'll try to pick out which ones I'm able to do because of the situation I'm in and I don't have as much freedom. But yeah. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you have not subscribed to my channel already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button below. Click that little bell so that you're notified when my videos have been posted. Like this video if you did like it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye! I just think that's adorable, and on the handle there's like a little macaroon icon like right there. Another thing in general about slmissglambeauty brushes that I like is that she has the name of the brushes on the handle. So for instance, this is the M05 tapered highlight. So you have the brush name on there, you know what it's going to be used for, what it's called. What's unique about this brush set is that instead of having to, you know,